Hello, today I'm going to share how to synthesize the sound of a housefly. I will be doing this using phase plant. I will start by adding a wavetable oscillator. I'll go to edit the wavetable. Then I'll go to the waveform freehand drawing tool here. I'll flatten the waveform to start with. Then I'll draw a bit of a triangle shape in the middle, like this. At this point it sounds a bit buzzy. We can also enhance this by adding some extra spikes. I'm now going to set the harmonic scale to 0. And then here I'm going to set the shift to around 90 Hz. This means that the oscillator will always sound at 90 Hz regardless of what key we press. Currently this sounds a bit too low pitched, but what I'm about to do will make it an octave higher. I'm going to duplicate this oscillator, and then I'm going to set the phase of the second one to 180 degrees. I find that doing this helps it sound a bit more buzzy. Currently the sound is a bit too static. We can help this with some subtle randomization. I'm going to set the smoothing to 100%, and I'll make the rate a bit faster. Then I'm going to assign this to modulate the shift of both oscillators. We only need a very subtle amount here, so I'm starting with 0.2%. Now what we can do is try and make it sound a bit more noisy. I would do that by adding a noise oscillator. I'll make this silent by setting its gain down to the minimum. Now what I'm going to do is assign its envelope to the level of both wavetable oscillators. Now the noise oscillator is modulating the volume of both wavetable oscillators very quickly. This adds a bit of a noisy tonality to it without it just sounding like pure noise. We can also shape this noise with a filter. I'm going to use a high pass filter. A convenient way to alter how effective the noise is by altering this level here. At this point, I'm actually going to increase the frequency a bit to 105 Hz. Now I'm going to apply some processing to get it to sound a bit more close to a real fly. First, I'm going to try a high pass filter. I'm also going to cut some high end. I also find it's useful to open up Convolver, and then we can try out some different microphone impulse responses. I quite like Modern 2. Then we can edit most of the parameters here to just try out different tonalities. I will now add a small amount of reverb. What we could do here is we could apply some randomized panning as well, so it sounds like it's moving around. I'll add another random modulator, set the smooth to 100. Then I'll assign it to the pan of a stereo effect. And now we have a fairly realistic fly sound.